Receive happiness by giving happiness.
If you plant a cactus, you cannot expect it to bear mangoes. You get the fruit of the tree you plant. In the same way, the consequence of the karma you have to suffer depends on the type of karma that was bound in the first place. If you hurt someone, that person will bear a grudge against you and will vow to take revenge when the opportunity arises. People will take revenge, so do not do any karmas that make people unhappy. If it is happiness that you seek, then you must give happiness and not sorrow to others. What should you do if someone insults you? Just accept it. He is merely returning what you gave in the past life. If you want more of the abuse, then retaliate. But understand that when it is returned, you will not be able to bear it. So accept whatever comes to you. There is no injustice in this world. This world has not been unjust even for a second. That is why nobody will bother you if you stay within your limits. Accept whatever comes your way as the settlement of your past account.
Discord is not karma effect.
It can only be said that you truly understand when there is no discord in the home. There are no arguments and no differences of opinion. Discord is rampant nowadays. How can you call that living? Even primitive people live better lives than that.
But isn't discord bound to happen because of one's unfolding of effect karma, Dada?
No, discord does not occur because of effect karma. It arises because of ignorance. Whenever discord occurs, new seeds of karma are being sown. Effect karma does not contain discord. It is because of ignorance that one does not know how to conduct himself, so discord is brought on. If I were to receive news about the death of a close friend, right away I would analyze through Gnan the reasons for this news, and then there would be no need for me to suffer any discord. Ignorance, however, will bring on discord and despair. Therefore, discord means ignorance. All discord arises out of ignorance. When ignorance goes, discord disappears. One should know what everything is all about. Ordinarily, if a child breaks a clay pot, nobody says anything, but when a china cup is broken, everyone gets upset. Why? It is because the clay pot had no value to it. In other words, we only create problems when something is valuable to us. We do not create any problems where things do not have any value. Both of the vessels break on account of unfolding of effect karma. Yet, we care less for the devalued clay pot. When a person suffers a loss of 2,000 rupees, he suffers mental anguish, while another person who suffers the same loss will recognize that it happened because of his effect karma. This sort of understanding will bring everything to a closure, otherwise there will be discord. There is no discord in the karmas from the previous life. Discord is the fruit of today's ignorance. Some people remain unperturbed even if their warehouse burns down and they do not have any insurance. They would appear tranquil both on the outside and inside, while some display panic and fear inside and out. That is all ignorance and lack of understanding. The warehouse was destined to burn. Nothing new is happening. No matter how much you punish yourself, nothing would have changed the outcome.
Should we calmly accept the outcome of anything?
Yes, you must take everything positively. And you can only see the positive in any situation if you have Gnan. If not, the intellect, that is the buddhi, which always looks at the negative, will take over. The whole world suffers. Everyone thrashes around like fish out of water. How can you call this living? There is a need to understand the art of living. Not everyone achieves liberation, but one should at least know the art of living.
Why blame the postman for the letter with bad news?
The misery in this world today is due to lack of understanding. It is self-created because of the lack of vision. When one is burnt by fire, he would say that it was not done deliberately, but instead by mistake. Similarly, all misery is based on mistakes. All these miseries are the result of our mistakes. Once the mistakes are gone, the misery will be over.
Dada, is that why we have to suffer the misery? Because of our karmas?
They are all karmas that we had created, which is why the mistake is our own. No one else is at fault. Others are only instruments. The misery is all yours, but it comes your way through your instruments. Would you hit the postman, that is the instrument, if he were to bring you the telegram informing you of your father's death?
Accounts of previous lives.
Do we encounter our family members and relatives because of our connection with them in our previous life?
True. There is nothing without connections. They are all accounts. Either we have pushed them around, or they have pushed us around. If you have obliged them in the past, then the effect will be sweet. But if you have pushed them around, it will be bitter.
If someone pushes me around and hurts me, is the suffering I feel the fruit of my karma, Dada?
Yes, these are all accounts. He will continue to do so as long as there is an account. The trouble he gives you depends on the extent of your account. Do these chili peppers give you problems?
Dada, yes they do.
They burn in the mouth. That is exactly how it all is. It is the Pudgal, the body complex, that pushes you around, not the pure self. The pure self is simply aware that it is the body that is doing it. It is not the chilies that make us suffer, but that the fault is of the person who eats them, the sufferer. The peppers themselves are in their own natural state. The sufferer is in the unnatural state. That is, I am Chandulal.
What should we do if we push or shove someone and it hurts him?
You must do pratikraman, that is the apology process. You have to keep your clothes clean, don't you? You cannot keep them dirty. Ultimately, your behavior should be clean as well. It should be such that it does not hurt anyone, even slightly. If someone gets hurt and you do pratikramans, you will progress towards liberation.
Can anyone take on another's misery?
Dada, 2 years ago, a renowned saint was in a hospital suffering a terrible sickness. I asked him why all this was happening to him, and he told me it was because he had taken upon himself the miseries of many people. Can anybody do such a thing?
No one can take someone else's misery. These are all excuses for him so that people would continue to worship him as a saint. It was all a result of his own causes. He was simply trying to promote himself. How can anyone who does not even have the strength to evacuate his bowels at will take on someone else's misery?
Dada, even I don't believe that. Miseries cannot be taken away.
Of course not. He's simply making fools out of people so that he would be worshipped. It is impossible for anyone to take away another's pain. I tell it to their faces that they are suffering their own miseries. What nonsense!
But you can make someone miserable, can't you?
One cannot take anyone else's misery. Whatever misery people give you is your own effect. The ability to give and the ability to receive are both effects. Effect means that nobody does it. It just happens.
Miseries due to demerit karma.
When a person dies from some kind of disease, people say it's because of bad karma from his past life. Is that true?
Yes, with bad karma, you get disease, and if there is no bad karma, there is no disease. Have you ever come across a person with a disease?
My mother died of cancer about 2 months ago.
It all happens because of bad karma coming into effect. Cancer occurs when pap karmas come into effect. All these heart attacks occur because of bad karma. People today bind nothing but pap karma. That is their business. All day long they bind pap karma. They do this because they are not aware of it. If they were, they would not do so.
Her entire life was spent doing devout religious worship. So why did she get cancer?
The fruits of her worship are yet to come. She will receive that in her next life. This is the fruit of her past life. By sowing good seeds today, you will receive good fruits in your next life.
Dada, if disease is because of karma, then why does medicine cure it?
Yes, certain diseases are results of bad karmas created in ignorance. So medicine can cure them. If they were intentionally done, then there would not be any kind of medicine that would help cure the disease. In both cases, one does not go unpunished. The only difference is that the bad karma created in ignorance will receive some kind of help, whereas those done deliberately will not.